They don't even believe in reforms. They just believe that everything about every political system, every program we have, every institution we have is just worthless and we need to burn it all down.
Set it to its factory settings. You know what I mean? There are things that we need that we can't cut. There are things that we've got. But we have got to, it's rotted from the inside on both sides. We have to, I don't want to, the American idea is right. It's
like, isn't he basically saying the same thing? We literally need a whole reset on everything.
I really feel like if we could, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again and reset it to its factory settings? You know what I mean? There are things that we
like. How is that so much different than what you were talking about?
Like
here?
That kind of stuff. There's a portion of the left that has shed those characteristics. They've taken on a more nihilistic approach to things, and they don't even believe in reforms. They just believe that everything about every political system, every program we have, every institution we have is just worthless and we need to burn it all down. Okay. So that nihilistic nature.
Maybe she's about to push back, though.
Need that we can't cut. There are things that we've got. But we have got to, it's rotted from the inside on both sides. We have to, I don't want to, the American idea is right. It's great. It's to create a more perfect nation, meaning we're never going to be perfect. And the mission statement in the Declaration of Independence, there's nothing more inspiring from any country in the history of the world than that. I want to try to create that, knowing we'll never get there, but we can make progress towards it. So we can't jettison everything, but we have got to go in with, I don't even know if you can do it with surgical knives anymore because it's so big and out of control. Just start chopping down some of the, reshaping the tree.
Yeah, there's been a lot of attention focused on, DOGE, right? The Department of Government Efficiency and what they're going to focus their energies on.
She's not going to, and she's not about to support DOGE, is she? That's not about to happen, right? No shot, dude. Why? No, they are. Don't get upset. This is theater. It's all a show.
And focused on, DOGE, right? The Department of Government Efficiency and what they're going to focus their energies on.
But I actually think it's good that we finally have somebody looking at bureaucratic waste and corruption. Finally, because we've never had that ever before. Finally, we have somebody looking at this.
I'm cautiously optimistic, mostly because of the fact that a lot of the conversation is focused on the Pentagon. And there's agreement on both sides of the political aisle that there needs to be a serious accounting for all of the resources that are being squandered on the Pentagon.
But that also has to happen in things that you're going to like. I mean, I believe.
Oh, so DOGE, the company that's headed by Elon Musk, or the thing that's going to be headed by Elon Musk, who makes money selling military contracts to the government, is going to be the one that you want auditing the military spending of the government? Oh, okay. Glad that we need to stop congressmen from trading stocks because it might influence their decisions. Thanks for that one, Anna.
If the Pentagon is completely out of control.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been able to pass a single audit. I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Neither of them even know what that even means because it's a joke. I'm sorry. Don't get mad. This is theater where we're meant to be entertained. Neither of them know what the auditing thing means. Or maybe they do know and they're just intentionally lying about it, but that's okay. That's fine. It's just a joke. That's okay. It's good. It's a joke. It's a meme.
So I completely agree with that, but I believe defense is very important. We could go back and forth, but there's also stuff on the other side. We have squandered trillions of dollars. We don't even. How do we have a government that says, "Geez, where did we put that $2 trillion?"
That's not what that was at all, but that's okay. Can you explain what the audit thing is? Basically, I think it was like in the year 2000. I think the government wanted to change how the accounting and auditing procedures were handled by all the different administrative departments in the government. And for the Pentagon, they started to transition over to the system. It wasn't even supposed to begin until 2010. And then I think it's supposed to be done generally by 2028. But it's just it's a system of how they account for things. It's not that the money's actually gone. It's just the way that they run their audits and their processes has to be a certain way. But when they say the Pentagon has failed the last 7 audits, there's only been 7 audits. They've just started this new auditing process and procedure. That's it. There's not this whole black hole of missing money that's totally unaccounted for. It's just a lie. It's just not true.
How does it happen?
Yeah, it's crazy. It is. I mean, I agree with you. I think that even when it comes to, look, I agree with programs that are meant to help the homeless. I totally am. So that's the type of, those are the types of policies. If they're effective, but there's a lot of waste because the way that those policies are being implemented in places like California isn't really meant to help the homeless. It's about funneling taxpayer money to nonprofits.
Yes.
That's what it's about. And so when we talk about waste, I'm open-minded about taking a look at these government agencies and really questioning whether these massive bureaucracies make sense, right? Whether the money is well spent on various programs. Let's do a little bit of testing to see if these policies or these programs are even effective.
Yeah, we don't do that. There's no testing for any government, anything. They just basically throw money blindly at things. And then this is like when people will look at a study and it's like, study says eating meat bad for you? And they're like, huh, I wonder if they controlled for obesity levels. I wonder if this study that was published in Nature from this guy who's got a high impact factor journal and a guy who's published 52 articles on this. I wonder if he even considered for 1 microsecond about the socioeconomic status, idiot. Did you ever fucking think about that? Like, it's like, how is this your job? How is this your job? Do you get to say the most like, well, I wonder if the government has ever even thought about how the money is spent. Like, we should test for it. Like, yeah, no. It's okay. This is a meme. It's 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 a meme. This is a meme.
In carrying out what their objective is.
See, this is why I think the 10th Amendment is so important. It creates 50 laboratories. You want universal health care in Massachusetts? Have it. Do it. Vote for it. You want it in California? Have it. Do it. If it works, we'll do it. If it doesn't work, you can't just say, oh, we need bailout from the federal government. Why should I pay for something that doesn't work? You know what I mean? And if there's 50 laboratories, somebody's going to come up with something better. You know what I mean? But we have all of this federal regulation to stop people from trying things that might work. You know?
So are you consistent on that issue, though, on the idea of states' rights? And
hold on. Are we about to get 45 and a half minutes in? Anna Kasparian, who definitely hasn't become far right, is finally giving us our first piece of pushback against Glenn Beck. Here we go.
You know?
So are you consistent on that issue, though, on the idea of states' rights and allowing for the federal government to just kind of take a step back?
It seems like a setup question.
No,
but
I'm
yes.
not, it's not a gotcha or anything, but mostly because in conversations with Republicans or with conservatives or anyone on the right, they tend to have this idea of states' rights when it comes to economic policies or things like healthcare, as you mentioned. But then it comes to some of the more conservative social issues where they do want the federal government to be involved and have a standard. Like, for instance,
why is she's stepping into a loser issue? What are the two issues that she could possibly fight on here? Abortion or gun control? Because for abortion, Glenn Beck gets to win and say, well, abortion is left up to the states now. And for gun control, he gets to win because he can say, well, that's defended in the Constitution. What issue is she possibly going to step into here where she can win this?
You know, there's a small but loud group of people who are on, Trump's case about not wanting to pursue a federal ban on abortion.
Yeah, and now he's just going to say, well, Trump has said he's not going to sign a federal ban for abortion. That's why I support that. And he's going to say, and I don't know if I would support a federal ban on abortion.
Right.
I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Federal government has nothing to do with it. The Supreme Court has ruled with it. I don't think you can legislate morality. I think the problem with the abortion case is on the right side. Forget about the baby for a second. Mom. Why is she in it? She is most likely not in it in this situation because she's like, I want to shout my abortion.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They're in trouble.
Yep.
Something has happened. Something has failed. They have no framework around them to help them. We cannot just say to that person, no, because they'll go someplace else. True. We have to care about the baby and the mother and help fix.
Why have they not updated the Pentagon spending system or tracking? Why not just fix this now instead of letting it go on? They are updating it. What do you mean? I think they either passed the largest percentage of or they partially passed the last one they did. The Pentagon has been updating our stuff. It's a work in progress. It takes a long time. There's a whole bunch of different administrative stuff that's going on there to change how they do the entire accounting for that the department or whatever.
What's broken? When somebody is using abortion for birth control, I don't even understand your moral sense, but I understand 80%, I bet, of people who are having an abortion. There's no law that will fix that. None. We have to find the way by working reasonably with each other. I went to GLAAD and met with GLAAD this years ago when Iran was throwing gays off of the rooftop. I've always been for gay marriage. I'm more libertarian. I don't care. Marry who you want. Don't tell me and my church what I have to do, and I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. And I went to GLAAD and I said, look, we could argue all day long about wedding cakes. They're throwing people off the roofs because they're gay. This will be wildly unpopular with my audience, and it will be wildly unpopular with your audience. But why don't we come together and say, we disagree on a whole bunch of stuff, but this we agree on. Life has meaning. Okay? They wouldn't do it.
Interesting. Okay.
Until we have the guts to stand up and say, look, this is going to be unpopular on my side. It's going to be unpopular on your side. But we're both reasonable. Laws, when it's oppressive, when they're just forced on you, it feels oppressive. We have to change the hearts and minds. And the only way we're going to do that is by talking to each other
100%.
And actually looking at the problem, not just saying, oh, it's the homeless. That means, my father used to say, I'd say, Dad, I want to talk about God. Okay, we cannot talk about God. What do you mean?
I like how he kind of weaseled his way out of that. He didn't even... Glenn Beck, I just remember this after I said it. Glenn Beck actually is super anti-abortion, from a crazy moral standpoint. I wonder if she's going to ask me, so wait, so would you support a federal abortion ban? He weaseled his way out of that very carefully, because what he's saying basically is, well, I want every state to vote against it, is kind of what he made the argument for. Do you think she'll ask him that again? Because he basically hinted at that, but didn't say as much.
Let's call him first cause, because God means something different to you than it does me. First cause, we don't have any images in our head. So we start from there. When we say, we want to talk about abortion, it means something to you, means something to me that's deeply seated in us. True. We have to find our way to the compassionate core of the human experience.
How do we get there? Like, what is your suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Well, nice. Man, what do we do? Well, we got to trust Donald Trump to tear down and rebuild the entire system.
Suggestion. Mm-hmm.
I have for so long waited for a fair interview on my side from somebody who doesn't agree with me. I can get fair interviews. I can get bad interviews from people who agree with me. And I don't mind somebody reporting something and me going, well, I don't think that's exactly true, but I can see how you got there. There's no such thing as it's all a setup. All of it is a setup.
Yep.
And you know it because you're on the other side. And I'm sure people on both sides right now with you. That's why before we started, the only thing I said to you was, you're in a safe zone. I'm not trying to get you. Mm-hmm. That has to happen. And the only way that happens is back to Jefferson. Honest questioning. I really want to know how you got there. Mm-hmm. When we talk to each other and I've got an agenda. Oh, you know what? I've got some people coming over for Christmas. I know exactly. I'm going to say this and they're going to say that. And then I can get them to that. That's not honest. Mm-hmm. When you say, I'm not going to talk to you because I disagree, what I'm actually saying is I'm smarter than you and you have nothing to teach me.
Yeah, and ironically, that's actually the dumbest way to proceed, because one thing that I have noticed is as the left kind of avoids any debate or conversation with individuals they disagree with.
And the right doesn't? Excuse me? Who are all of these big right-leaning people that are out here doing debates? What? I'm sorry. Just a meme. It's a joke. That was a joke.
Well, their ideas don't really get challenged, right? Your ideas get challenged in a debate, in a good faith debate. I'm not talking about, gross, rolling around the mud type stuff. But,
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.